The Galactic Academy's combat assessment hall fell silent as Instructor Zeph-9's crystalline form shimmered with anticipation. 300 of the galaxy's finest military cadets sat in tiered seats, their various appendages, tentacles, and sensory organs focused on the arena below. Representatives from 47 species had gathered for the most prestigious examination in known space, the Advanced Combat Simulation. Today, Zeph-9's voice resonated through bioacoustic translators. You will face the Kethvar, apex predator of the Andorian Death Worlds, standing 4 meters tall, possessing reactive armor plating, and equipped with plasma-generating organs. It has never been defeated in single combat by any species. Nervous chittering erupted from the insectoid delegation. The crystalline Vorth began humming their anxiety songs. Even the proud Draconian cadets shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The simulation parameters are simple, the instructor continued. Survive 15 minutes against the Kethvar using only standard-issue equipment. Graduates from this exercise will be eligible for elite military positions across the Confederation. In the back row, human cadet Marcus Chen sat quietly, his dear, unremarkable bipedal form drawing little attention. Most species still considered humans a curiosity, a recently discovered race from a backwater planet, barely past their nuclear age. Their inclusion in the Academy was largely ceremonial, a gesture of galactic inclusivity. The first candidate, a towering Goliathian warrior with natural armor plating, descended into the arena. The holographic Kethvar materialized, a nightmare, fusion of reptilian grace and mechanical precision. Despite the Goliathian's impressive size and combat training, the creature had him pinned within 6 minutes. The simulation ended with the warrior unconscious but alive. One by one, cadets faced the beast. A draconian fire breather lasted 8 minutes before being overwhelmed. A phase-shifting ethereal managed 12 minutes using advanced stealth tactics. The best performance came from a cybernetically enhanced Nexian, who survived the full 15 minutes by constantly retreating and using environmental obstacles. Adequate, Zeph-9 noted. Next candidate, human designation Marcus Chen. A ripple of surprised murmurs swept through the audience. Few expected the human to even attempt the trial. Marcus stood, his movement economical and fluid, and walked toward the equipment rack. Standard loadout includes energy shield, plasma rifle, combat knife, and basic armor, the instructor announced. Marcus paused at the equipment rack, studying the weapons with an expression that made several alien observers shift uncomfortably. There was something predatory in his gaze, something that reminded them why many species had banned humans from competitive hunting tournaments after the Antarian incident. He raised his hand. Yes, Cadet Chen? Zeph-9's tone carried barely concealed amusement. Sir, the simulation parameters mentioned defeating the Kethvar. Do you want it alive, or is termination acceptable? The hall erupted in shocked silence. Never in the examination's history had anyone asked about killing the creature. The simulation was designed to test survival skills, not aggression. The objective is survival, Cadet. The Kethvar is an extremely dangerous... Understood, sir, but you didn't answer the question. Marcus's voice carried no challenge, only professional interest. Rules of engagement, sir. Do you want it breathing when I'm done? Zeph-9's crystalline form flickered, the equivalent of nervous laughter, among his species. Around the arena, conversations halted as the implications sank in. This small, seemingly fragile primate wasn't asking how to hide from the apex predator. He was asking permission to hunt it. I suppose termination would technically qualify as defeating the creature, the instructor said slowly. Marcus nodded and selected only the combat knife, leaving the rest of the equipment untouched. Cadet, you realize you're facing a 4-meter apex predator with only a blade? Yes, sir. The human's calm confidence sent uncomfortable ripples through the audience. The Draconian delegation began whispering among themselves. Their own species had evolved from apex predators, and they recognized something familiar in the human's bearing. The Kethvar materialized, its holographic form perfect down to the last detail. 4 meters of scaled death, plasma crackling between its claws, eyes that had never known fear. Marcus didn't retreat to cover like the others. He didn't raise his weapon defensively. Instead, he began walking directly toward the creature, the knife held low and ready. The Kethvar, programmed with the behavioral patterns of its real counterpart, paused. In millions of years of evolution, nothing had ever approached it so directly. Its predator instincts, translated perfectly into the simulation, suddenly screamed warnings. Marcus smiled. What followed lasted exactly 4 minutes and 37 seconds. The human moved like liquid shadow, using the creature's own size and aggression against it. Every swipe of massive claws met empty air as Marcus flowed around attacks that should have been impossible to dodge. When he struck, it was with surgical precision, targeting joints, sensory organs, and neural clusters with anatomical knowledge that impressed even the Academy's medical staff. The Kethvar fought with increasing desperation as it realized it wasn't hunting prey, it was being hunted. For the first time in its species' history, it experienced what countless other creatures had felt when facing a Kethvar, the terror of being outmatched by a superior predator. The simulation ended when Marcus's blade found the creature's primary neural cluster. The Kethvar collapsed, its massive form dissolving into fading photons. The arena remained silent for a full 30 seconds. Well, Zeph-9 finally managed, his voice barely above a whisper. That was comprehensive. Marcus wiped the blade, clean, and returned it to the equipment rack. Will there be additional trials, sir? As news of the examination spread through the Academy, then beyond to the wider Confederation, military strategists began asking uncomfortable questions. If humans could treat the galaxy's apex predator as prey, what did that make every other species in the Confederation? The answer, as many would soon discover, was potential allies, if they were very, very polite about it. Later that day, Marcus Chen became the first human to score a perfect rating on the advanced combat simulation. He was also the last candidate to ever face the Kethvar test, as the Academy quietly retired the examination, citing concerns that it had become insufficiently challenging. The real reason, whispered among faculty but never officially recorded, was simpler. They had finally encountered a species that made their ultimate predator simulation look like prey, and that terrified them more than any Kethvar ever could.